The last mile is where the poor and their local economies meet, namely in the world's least developed countries. But it is precisely in this last mile that the achievement of the SDGs will truly be tested. Judith Karl, Executive Secretary of the United Nations Capital Development Fund, shares UNCDF's mission and approach to achieving the SDGs in the last mile, and achieving the promise of leaving no one behind.
Hello, everyone. My name is Judith Karl. I am the Executive Secretary of the United Nations Capital Development Fund. Thank you for joining us here in the SDG Action Zone, where UNCDF aims to make public and private finance work for the poor in the world's 47 least developed countries. UNCDF works at the intersection of SDG 1 on poverty eradication and SDG 17 on partnerships. If we look at where finance works, whom finance works for, and what finance invests in, we find that the last mile, where poor people and their local economies meet, is the least well served. The last mile, as we define it, is where resources for development are scarcest, where market failures are most pronounced, and where benefits from national growth tend to leave people out. But it is precisely in this last mile that the achievement of the SDGs will truly be tested. This is where the Agenda 2030 ambition to leave no one behind is most critical, and where our collective ingenuity and commitment to innovation are best applied to ensure a more equitable and prosperous future for all. Our work is about creating pathways for excluded populations to gain a foothold in the mainstream financial decisions that will help them lead more resilient and secure lives, and to show the markets that this is not just viable, but also good business. Our partnerships for poverty eradication include local governments and mayors, central banks, ministries of finance, private banks and financial service providers, impact investors, and capital markets, to name a few. These are the financial actors whose infrastructure and product design, customer outreach, and investment placements are determinant in whether SDG achievement and poor people are explicitly at the center of their business and development strategies. And we work with them to demonstrate the financial pathways that will make SDG achievement and leaving no one behind among their top priorities. Please, let's watch a short video for a brief glimpse into our achievements over the past 2 years.
UNCDF makes finance work for the poor in the world's 47 least developed countries, offering last-mile finance models that unlock public and private resources, working through 3 channels: inclusive digital economies, local development finance, and investment finance. Meaningful digital financial inclusion provides outlays for low-income account holders to engage in the economy to meet their daily needs and to improve their skills, productivity, and marketability in the digital economy age. UNCDF strengthens local government finance systems to demonstrate the effectiveness of decentralized financing for climate adaptation, women's economic empowerment, food security, health, and local economic development. With a growing loan and guarantee portfolio, UNCDF demonstrates to the financial architecture, domestically and internationally, that investing in last-mile settings is not only good for development, but also commercially viable. Women's economic empowerment cuts across all of UNCDF's work, from boosting women's access to digital financial services to making entrepreneurship work for women, to enabling greater economic agency for women's participation in local economies. UNCDF responded quickly to address some of the impacts of COVID-19. UNCDF partnered with UNDP, Switzerland, and the UK on the global call to action on remittances, supported digital solutions, including accelerated digital payments in 20 countries, develop guidance to local governments for emergency grant finance, and explore the impact of COVID-19 on SMEs in LDCs. UNCDF collaborates with national and local governments, the private sector, and the wider UN system, notably UNDP, our most important partner. UNCDF also hosted and supported several innovative multi-stakeholder initiatives to support SDG achievement in LDCs. UNCDF will continue to pursue its central goals under its existing strategic framework and scale up its various innovative last-mile financing models, all with the aim of supporting local economies in LDCs to rebuild better from the COVID-19 crisis and to regain momentum in achieving the SDGs.
Thank you for watching. UNCDF works to drive finance to small and medium business, to critical infrastructure that will ensure safe and affordable access to markets, particularly for women, that will help households withstand crisis and build greater financial resilience over the long term, thereby supporting better education and health outcomes for all. And UNCDF works to create new products and pathways with capital markets so they invest responsibly in SDG positive instruments that allow all of us to put our dollars towards a better future for all. Please join us in advocating for finance that works for the poor. Thank you.